Hey everybody, it's Mark Davis. We're on Lake Ouachita. It's fall, it's mid-September. The lake's pretty low and fishing's been pretty slow, but we're gonna go and try to catch both bass, spotted bass, largemouth, and maybe even some crappie. So stay with us.
Oh my gosh. Check that out.
It's time for the only program that brings you real-time fishing reports from the Southwest region every week.
Cobia, big one. And a monster. Look at that. That's a Tawakami giant.
This is Let's Fish.
Hey, it's Mark Davis here. We're on Lake Ouachita. Let me tell you a little bit about Lake Ouachita. Lake Ouachita is a man-made lake. It was built in 1955. It's roughly 40,000 acres at the level it's at now, which is 8 feet loaded. It can be as much as 46,000 acres on full pool. It has a lot of different species of fish in it, but today we're going to be trying to catch some largemouth or spotted bass and maybe a little bit of crappie fishing mixed in. We'll have this week's fishing reports from your local region from our insiders reporters. I'm gonna go get launched and get ready to go. And while I do, I'm gonna kick it back to the studio and take a look at your weekend planner.
Hi everybody and welcome to Let's Fish TV. Our charts show fair game fish activity on both days this weekend. Peak morning hours begin at 6:08 Saturday and 7:02 on Sunday. The best evening fishing will begin around 6:33 Saturday and 7:27 on Sunday night. Depending on your area, the sun will rise around 7:27 and set at 7:06. Evenings will feature a moon that's 42% visible. Stick with us, we've got fishing reports from across the area on the way, and I'll return with the 2022 Red Crest champion Bobby Lane to answer this week's Ask the Pro question.
See what we got here. A largemouth. There's no Lake Ouachita bass. So let me tell you a little bit about the lake that we're on. This is Lake Ouachita. A lot of guys have a hard time figuring out how to pronounce Ouachita, O-U-A-C-H-I-T-A. So Lake Ouachita is a man-made lake made on the Ouachita River. It has a huge watershed, but the lake's right now it's low and it's probably around 40,000 acres. At full capacity, it's around 45, 46,000. It fluctuates a lot, but it has a lot of shoreline, a lot of islands, over 1,000 miles of total shoreline. So that islands are what makes that shoreline number go way up. But it's a beautiful lake. It's in west central Arkansas, and I was born and raised here on it. So it's gone through a lot of changes over the years. We've had grass, and the grass mostly has gone away now. There's still a little bit of grass here. There's one, come on. There he is. There's a school of crankbait fish. Now, I had one on, he come off, and he come right back and got it. There we go, quick release. Let's get right back in that school, see if we can get another one. See, a little breeze is picking up out of the south right here, and you can see it's holding us. There we go. A little largemouth. Now what's fun about this is I'm getting a bite every time I throw it in there. Now a lot of them are small. A lot of them are actually missing it, but nice little largemouth. You can hear the breeze picking up. We had some rain roll through this morning, and here comes the wind in behind the rain. Let's see if we can keep these fish biting here for a little while. They're hitting it. Just knocking, there you got it, now it come off. Boy, they're just biting it, but not eating it good.
Everybody, and welcome to this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by Holland Safes. Holland Safes are a Texas company, and they're designed by a professional locksmith and overbuilt with heavy gauge steel and heavy duty bolts and hinges. Don't just be safe, be Holland Safe. Now this week we're going to start at Lake Whitney. We're going to catch some sand bass, and we're going to do that out on the main lake. Look for the humps and ridges. A good place to start is just outside McCown Valley Park. Drop down your slabs and spoons when you see bait fish, and of course keep a topwater like a heading torpedo ready to go in case those fish start schooling, pushing bait fish to the surface. Over at Lake Palestine, the bass fishing is pretty good right now on the main lake down by the dam, the deeper water. You'll want to stay around main lake points and fish those docks and cuts between the docks with your topwaters and your spinner baits and your ochos, things like that, to catch those active fish. Keep a drop shot and maybe a shaky head ready to work those slower fish around the docks and in between. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes. Check us out on Facebook, Lone Star Lakes.
So when you find a group of fish like this, is what I love about fall fishing. You know, you can find these fish schooled up. Now there was a bite. Now I tell you, I could probably go to I love catching them on a crankbait, all right? There's one. And they're biting the crankbait right now, but I'm missing a lot of them. That one come off, that's all right. But you get a school like that, when you get them fired up, they're, you know, I'm getting a lot, they're right there, one bit it. You'll get one, you know, you'll get one to bite it and they're fighting over it. These are all about the same size. But they are competitive. And most of the time, when you get them going like this, you know, that window of catching them on a crankbait, it can be pretty short. Sometimes it'll last, you know, 15 minutes or so, and then they'll get tired of seeing it come through there. See, I'm getting bites every cast, and they're just knocking it around. And I could take a Carolina rig or something slow on the bottom and catch them on it, and we will do that as soon as they stop biting the crankbait. But I will say this about a crankbait: most of the time, a school of bass, you'll catch the bigger fish on your crankbait. See, there, hit it again. They're just not eating it. A lot of times when you pick up a Carolina rig or a drop shot or something like that, the numbers will be better, but normally the bigger fish are going to bite that plug or swim bait, or, you know, a flutter spoon, or in this case here it's a crankbait. Good. I got you. Here we go. Another little guy. So I'm catching those fish at the Strike King 5XD. I'm also fishing just a 5 in a shad color. That's the splatterback. That's one of my favorites in the fall. I'm fishing this, this is the Lew's cranking series. This is a 6XD rod, which is my favorite. I like the 5XD rod as well. I like them all.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Lake Hartwell Country. Catch the feeling. Lew's, feel the difference. Mamba Boats, ride with pride. Strike King, tie one on. Fishing Specialties, makers of the premier mount assembly for live sonar.
For the most part, you can't fish it too slow. Once you know where the fish are, you know, there's one biting it right there. We caught several little old fish here on a crankbait, and they've quit. So next thing we're gonna pick up, if I can find it, is a Carolina rig. So this is Strike King Fat Baby Finesse worm. I've just got it on a Carolina rig. Rigged up there with 3/4 ounce weight, 20-pound test line, about a 3 feet leader. And we're gonna drag it through there, see if they'll bite it. For the most part, you can't fish it too slow. Once you know where the fish are, you know, there's one biting it right there. You slow it way down, this little guy. And that's just typical, you know, because there's probably a lot of those little guys like that in there. But you really can't fish that little worm too slow. So we talk about fishing it slow. Obviously, you know, if you're looking for fish, it's hard to just fish slow all the time. But once you locate them, that's when you want to slow down. There we go. A little bit better. Not a big one though, just a bigger than the last one. But see, that goes to show you, know, I found those fish with a crankbait, and now you can throw a crankbait out there all you want, they're not going to bite it, but it's every cast with a little worm. That just goes to show you, you know, you can, if you catch them on a, you know, a reaction bait like a crankbait, and you figure out there's a school of fish there, or there's a, you know, a group of them there, slow down, take you a Texas rig or a Carolina rig and work it out real good. Because when we found these fish, you know, I hit spot lock and the boat's not moved. We've been sitting right here in one spot, and fish are just, they're just right there. There's one right there. See what we got here. A little largemouth. Now what's neat about this, we've caught these fish, I've not moved the boat. I've had that ghost on spot lock. We're sitting right here in one spot. And them fish are still right here, 30 feet or so from the boat. And I can turn that active target on that Lowrance out there and you'll see them scattered out up and down that little hard spot on that ledge. It's just a little gravel, rocky spot on that channel ledge where it falls off in the river. And I'm in it right now. You can see it's rough, a few stumps, but it's mostly just gravel down there. There we go. Yeah, it was raining, the wind was out of the south. We found these fish, and now the wind turned out of the north, and now it stopped. But the fish are still biting. You little booger, you threw my worm off. Fat Baby Finesse back on there again. You know, one thing about fall on a lot of the lakes in this area, it's a numbers game. You're gonna catch a lot of fish.
Hey friends, Captain Kevin Broussard here at Cajun Paradise Charters in Hackberry, Louisiana, bringing you this week's Louisiana Let's Fish report. Tell you what, we're gonna start out on the freshwater side of things. Been getting some great reports from Caddo Lake. I tell you what, these couple little fronts have come through, water temperatures dropping, getting a little cooler at night. Lots of bass action, early and late. I tell you what, midday there's actually still some school bass going on. Toledo Bend, the crappie are starting to turn back on, 20 to 30 feet of water over your brush pile. I'll tell you what, bass action, the same thing there. On the saltwater side of things, I'll tell you what, all along the Louisiana coast right now, if you want big bull reds, go towards the surf, go towards the beach, go towards the jetties. Lots of big schools of bull redfish. Tell you what, if you don't want to mount him, take a photo, catch, release. These big ones are your brood stock. Tell you what, on the trout side of things, these little fronts are starting to push a lot of shrimp out of your marshes. Birds are starting to work. Soft plastic, 1/8 and 1/4 ounce Rockport Rattler jig heads with some down south plastic seems to be working the best for your trout. If you want to keep a redfish, we're throwing live shrimp under a 4-horse cork, about 18 inches, 2 feet deep, fishing in your marshes, looking for moving water on points. And I tell you what, there's still some great offshore action going on out of Venice. Basically, get out on the water, have fun, catch you some fish, starting to cool down. For O'Cajun Phil, I'm Captain Kevin Broussard for this week's Let's Fish Report. See you next week.
There we go. A little school. Tell those fish are in a school. They're real light colored. Sitting right there. Let's see if we can get another one on this cast. There's a bunch of them right there. There we go. Let's see what we got here. Oh, they're all fun. Yeah, it's neat because we started on these fish and caught a few of them when it was raining. Little guy there. And they quit biting. Went off, left them alone, let them kind of settle back down and regroup. But what happens is when you're catching these fish a lot of times when they're in a school, as you're winding them in, you move the school, because they'll tend to follow one another. And they'll get out close to the boat a lot of times and they'll quit biting. But you can get off of them, let them rest, let them regroup.
Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, the ultimate fishing system, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach, Alabama. Plan or book your fishing charter at orangebeach.com. Motor Guides Tour Pro with GPS anchor, powered by Passion. Glacier outdoors since 1982.
Man, it's tempting to put him in the live well, but I'm gonna be nice and I'm gonna let him go. All right. Want something? Crappie. I love catching them crappie. Nice crappie. I caught him out of a brush pile. This is what I love about Lake Ouachita. See, you're bass fishing 1 minute, crappie fishing the next minute. I caught, that's a little Strike King, little grub, little 16th ounce head. Man, it's tempting to put him in the live well, but I'm gonna be nice and I'm gonna let him go. All right. Crappie. Yeah, we're catching bass and it was cloudy and wind blowing and it got real still and the sun got up real bright midday. But you've always got something to catch. So bass fishing got a little tough, go catch some crappie. There, old crappie. Not a big one. Yeah. Well, he's not very big, but they're all fun. Sometimes they will. That old crappie. He'd be just right for supper.
Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Fishing Report. Captain Taylor Burrell here at Wave Dancer Charters in Galveston, Texas. Here lately offshore, beeliner biting's been really good. Been a few grouper caught a few wahoo, some rainbow runners. No kingfish really to speak of. They've been catching a few swordfish, been going out far enough. Here inshore, the redfish body's been picking up. We're getting to that fall pattern that started to come around. We're catching them on big hole shad. Speckled trout body's been really good. Also too, the flounder should be starting to move once we get a good cold front to drop the temperature from 120 degrees to about 70 for a few days. It'll be really good. So that's it for this week's Fish Report, guys. Tight lines, remember, if you want to go fishing in Galveston, Texas, give us a call.
Watch our latest episode or catch up on past episodes on our website at letsfishtv.com. Be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter for new fishing videos every day. And download the free Waypoint TV app to get all the latest episodes every week on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Let's Fish TV is proudly backed by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Visit Mississippi. Wanderers welcome. Power Pull. Total Boat Control. Balls Out. Made in the USA. Heavy duty mounts for your fish finders. Rely on. Challenge your limits.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's get right on over to your Ask the Pro question for this week. Trevor writes in, he would like to know what helps you recover from a bad day on the water. For an answer, we asked 2022 Red Crest champion Bobby Lane.
Hey, I'm Bassmaster Pro Bobby Lane. What helps me recover from a bad day on the water? You know what? I like to look back at the lake and learn what I did wrong. That's number one. I don't like going back and watching all the videos because most of the time it's not the way I fish. But what I like to do is build confidence and say, okay, get to the next one, focus on what's in front of you, and forget about the one you had the bad day on, because you know what? You're never gonna make that one up. And if you let it eat at you, you'll never forget it. Move forward, think positive, get to the next one, and catch them.
Thanks so much, Bobby. If you too want some help from one of the pros, simply go to letsfishtv.com and follow that Ask the Pro link to submit a question.
Here's today's Right Stuff, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors.
We'll talk about what we caught our fish on today. That's a Strike King 5XD Tennessee shad. I'm cranking that on 12-pound test line. This is the Lew's 6XD cranking series rod, which I love for a lot of crankbaits. It's a good parabolic action. It is a graphite rod. It's not much composite in it, but it is a great cranking rod. And I've got that paired up with a 6.4 to 1 Lew's reel, and that's the BB1. So that was my cranking setup, and just cranking those ledges and getting that 5XD down into that 10 to 15 foot water on those hard spots around those stumps is how we caught a lot of fish today. So when it comes time to catch crappie on these lakes around here, I love a little twister grub. And there's a little raised tail grub from Strike King, a little Tennessee shad color, and I had that paired up on just a 16th ounce jig head and 4 6-pound test line. And I'm fishing that little sucker in anywhere from 12 to 15 feet of water around brush, and just winding it slow, stopping it, letting it fall. And that's a good way to catch crappie. Hey, I hope that everyone out there watching has enjoyed watching as much as I've enjoyed filming today. Be sure and tune in next week, Let's Fish TV, and Andrew Upshaw will be right back with you on another great episode of Let's Fish TV.